Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
He's going to be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure you tag at Star City Games so he can see your comments, send his favorites over to us.
And phrase them in an old-timey narrative, because that's been kind of our thing for the last couple days. So
For about 24 hours.
yeah.
As always,
A fortnight, some would say.
The fortnight is 2 weeks, Corey.
Close enough.
As always, we are brought to you by Star City Games, as well as Carnox chairs. If you want one of these chairs, you can go to carnox.com/SCG. You will get 10% off your purchase if you use that affiliate link. We are continuing Pioneer,
Yes.
but it's a little bit of a different Pioneer.
A little bit of a shakeup last night.
Skosh.
Yeah.
They said they were going to be aggressive with bans. WotC did, and they were not lying.
No kidding. I didn't really expect anything to be banned. I thought it was a little too early. We had like 1 weekend of premium events. Like there were problems or there was decks that were rising to the top, but I didn't really think there was going to be an immediate ban. I thought after the Invitational is like going to be their time to kind of evaluate things, but boy, was I wrong.
Well, I don't think Wizards expected to see all these paper tournaments switching immediately over to Pioneer. I thought they were going to have they thought they were going to have a couple months of it being an online only format.
Yeah.
And that's a lot easier to manage. So I think they were under a little bit more pressure. And honestly, I think the bans they did were good.
I do too.
It's pretty clear that Green Devotion and Four Color Copycat were ahead of everything else in the format.
Yeah. Honestly, I have always loved Felidar Guardian, just as a card, as the deck. I've enjoyed it, biased because, I've had success with it. But it really is just too powerful for standard, especially with how insane these 3-mana planeswalkers are. Just playing any of them on turn 2 with Goose, Elvish Mystic, or whatever, and then having them have to deal with the 3-mana planeswalkers, and then all of a sudden you can just be like, okay, now that you're really just trying to keep up with Oko, trying to keep up with Teferi, okay, you're dead. With Felidar Guardian, that was kind of a feel-bad moment. So I do think the deck was too powerful for Pioneer, so I think it is the right decision, but it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah. And then Green Devotion, we saw Todd Anderson's list do really well across the weekend. He lost the finals of the PTQ, and then a bunch of people took it. Sam Black and Joe Bernal both top 8 at the Nerd Rage Gaming event over the weekend. It won the challenge with like 2 cards different. I think that person was playing Jade Light Ranger over Corsair Crufix, which Todd admitted was the worst card in the deck.
Yep.
So maybe Jade Light's better. Who knows?
We'll never know.
Well, I mean, I think both shells exist somewhat intact. Green Devotion is going to be a little harder to work. I think Oath of Nissa was actually really important.
You think 4-color Copycat is still intact?
Well, the shell of Goose to Fairy Oko.
Sure,
you can still play the Planeswalker deck. You just don't get this combo kill, like you had before. So
yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if it's just like a Bant good creature deck. Like Spell Quellers, 1-drops, whatever. Maybe, I don't know, play the Sylvan 2/3 that can like pump your land. Yeah, something like that with some man lands or something. Exactly, like just good stuff. You probably can't play Collected Company if you want to play Teferi and Oko, but I think it's probably worth that exchange.
Get some interaction in your deck, like you're good.
Deck and Stone, let's go, party.
Stone, Deputy Detention, Reflector Mage, a lot of options there. So I think both shells still exist. So I like the way the bands shook out. And now we get to sort of keep exploring Pioneer as this really new format. So we have an extended honeymoon phase now with the format. Get to look at a bunch of cool decks, and that's what we're going to be doing today.
Yeah.
I'm actually starting with a deck that intrigued me. It's from the first deck dump. This is a 5-0 league finish from Sorceress, a Moto Grinder.
Sure.
And it's another deck that utilizes 8 mana creatures, 4 Llanowar Elves, 4 Elvish Mystic. But it is a stompy deck. So there's a lot of powerful 3-drops to be casting. We have Steelleaf Champion and we have Lovestruck Beast, which is a nice combo with Llanowar Elves.
Very nice, yeah.
We have all these extra 1/1s lying around. There's some Copters in the deck. And then we're going all the way up to Galta with our big creatures. We can get a Galta down quickly. And then there's a light blue splash here for Oko. Unsurprising.
Yep.
And Stubborn Denial. Great way to protect our big creatures. Just a good, efficient counterspell when we're playing a lot of easy ways to turn on Ferocious. So I think the splash of blue is very workable with the mana. Deck looks really cool, and I there's going to be another Llanowar Elves Elvish Mystic deck,
Oh, yeah.
Green Devotion was clearly the best one. Now we've got to explore some other options. I think this is one that we should look to.
Yeah, I mean, powerful 3-drops that just hits so hard. Turn 2 5 power is absurd. So I like it. So what I'm going to be playing is a little bit of Pummeler here. Green-red energy style Pummeler that is focusing a lot more on combining, Pump Spell with Temur Battle Rage, Become Immense with any one of your trampling creatures. And of course, you can kind of have these crazy draws with Pummeler where all you really need is like maybe 1 Blossoming Defense, use up 6 or 9 energy, and you can really just do some insane things. Otherwise, we have a decent amount of removal here, but it's just going to be a lot of good creatures that can get big really fast and tricks. And, I think this is a deck that probably couldn't beat Felidar Guardian very well. So yeah. I think it's a deck that may have gotten a little bit of a breath of fresh air that can unlock and, maybe do a little damage here in this format. We'll see.
Yeah, I think the
kind of a wild card deck, I would have to say.
Definitely.
But, yeah.
Format's going to slow down a little bit without the Devotion decks as powerful and without the combo. So, this is a deck that's not winning before turn 4.
Yeah.
It can win turn 4, turn 5 pretty well.
Definitely.
You got a little bit of removal of your own. You got some protection from opposing removal. So, you're not just super all in. And now you're about an appropriate speed for the format. So this deck looks cool.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. That's for sure. So you have the marbles. You beat me down yesterday or last week. So I'll be going first. And let's check out these opening hands. All right. Okay.
We started with the most board card. That's good.
Land? Oh, of course. All right. So, we have a decent, good mixture of creatures here. No 1-drops, so that hurts a little bit, but I think this is completely fine keep.
Yeah, I am going to be casting a 3-drop on turn 2 with this hand, and I have other things, so easy.
You don't know that for sure. Mountain to you.
Ooh,
shock.
Well, I will start with a Once Upon a Time.
Oh, okay. Alrighty then.
And I need another land for this hand, so let's take a Botanical Sanctum.
Okay. Keeping a good old 1-lander, I love it.
Cast Elvish Mystic.
Okay.
You're up.
All right.
No shock. That's good.
We don't have them. Not even in the main deck. Oh. All right. So Long Tusk Cub and pass to you. Not the best draw there on our part, but
I will cast a Steel Leaf Champion.
All right.
Pass the turn.
That's big. Okay. That's an interesting one. We're going to get an energy. I can't effectively tap or attack into that Steel Leaf too well, so I think we'll just try to get another threat down. We'll just go with Pummeler here.
Now pass 4. So now the Cub can trade with Champion.
The Cub could, yep.
Corey would like to do that.
I would not like to drain all that energy right now.
I am happy with that trade, so I will attack.
Okay, I will go to 15.
15 life points. I'm going to take a point myself, go to 19.
Okay.
And play another Champion and a Llanowar.
All right. Seems pretty strong.
Pass the turn.
Okay. That was a good draw. Needed that. So I could make this into a 4/4 as it stands. It's not super great right now. But some tricks to get through Steel Leaf Champion here makes it not so bad. So I think we'll get in there with this.
So I'm pretty high on just trading resources in this matchup. I don't want Corey to get a ton of energy and pump spells and go all in on this Pummeler. I'm sure there's something to give Trample, like Collision Colossus. So I don't think my Steel Leaf Champion is surviving this combat, but I'm happy to just trade resources, so I'll make the block.
Okay. We did have the Colossus here. So we'll pump that.
So now you have a 6/4.
6/4, so I have to pump twice here. Put 2 counters on.
So now you have an 8-power creature with Trample, so
yep.
I'm going to take 4, and you'll
I get
2 energy.
More energy.
So 15 all.
All right, and then pass to you.
That was pretty good to have a trampling creature, so you get to recoup 2 of the energy.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
But it also means you've at least used one of your trample tricks. Hopefully you don't have a ton more.
Only have 1 in the deck.
I will attack for 5.
I can't block that, so I'll go to 10.
And then I will cast another Steel Leaf Champion.
Okay.
You can go.
All right, so I got a 4/4 here. All right. So I think we just want to lead on this. Yeah, okay. So we'll lead on a Bristling Hydra. Go up to 5 energy.
That is really good.
I'll attack with the Cub. And you're still at 9.
I'm at 15.
Took 4 and you were... Yeah, okay. All right. So 15 to 10.
I'll get you to 7. Put me to 11. Ugh, that Hydra was really good.
Yeah, Hydra's a nice one.
So
you didn't remember the beautiful power of Bristling Hydra and Long Tusk Cub in Teamer Energy, at least back in the day.
You're at 10 right now?
I'm at 10.
Okay, so if I let this go through and Corey goes up to 7 energy, this is only going to get up to 5 toughness, and this is going to get up to 4 toughness.
Mm-hmm.
So these are still trades. So I can force a trade and get you to 5. So no blocks here.
Yeah, I could pump twice and just not worry about blocking one of the Steel Leaf champions, which seems reasonable, but I do like having the option of having extra energy open just in case I want to block with the Pummeler. So yeah, we're just going to add energy here.
So I'm at 11.
Okay, and then I'll pass to you. Yep. All right.
Okay, I will attack with both champions.
Okay. Kind of just want to double block here. And then just, well, I'd have to pump the Pummeler twice first to be able to block. And then block each of them, left with 1 energy. I don't think that's bad. Okay, double power.
Yep.
Double again. And then block 1 each.
Okay, trades for both. You have 2 cards in hand now?
I have 3.
3. So how worried do I have to be about dying next turn? Become Immense or Battle Rage are good.
All right, only 1 Steel Leaf champion left to deal out of Ross's deck. Nice.
I'm going to play Heart's Desire and then cast Lovestruck Beast.
Sure.
So I'll have a Shaheen and 5/5, and then I'll pass the turn.
Leaves a blue open, so she's got to be a Stubborn Denial. Okay, so let's see here. Now, we got options here. We got plenty of stuff to do, and we gotta assume a Stubborn Denial is there to put a wrench in our plan a little bit. Now, with that being the case, do I really want to just attack into this thing? Not really. Because if I gain some energy, I could make this Cub a 6/6, but then just trading with Lovestruck Beast and a Shaheen is not ideal. So I think we're just going to play it safe, play a Bristling Hydra.
Yep.
And I'm just going to pass. I'm just going to pass here.
That's kind of interesting. I don't think it's that good, actually.
Gotta love the inherent value you gain from just gaining energy. Like, your cards just become so threatening so quickly.
Yep.
Makes sense why Kaladesh just dominated Standard for so long.
Okay, I'm just going to play 2 Smuggler's Copters.
Okay.
And start getting in the air, and then pass the turn.
Copter. All right, well. Now we got to start getting this game done. Now, I think we'll start with... This is tough. could play this. If we take a peek at my hand, we could play this right now to gain some energy. We could attempt to do something like this. We got yet 11, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna take 2.
That brings you to 8. That's not good.
Down to 8. And I don't know if it's extremely bad. We're going to go with a Pummeler.
Yep.
7 energy. And then we're going to... I think I need a blocker here. We'll just attack with the Cub.
So 7 energy means you can pump it 3 times. That'll make it a 7/7. So you have 2 in hand?
2 in hand, yep.
I think what I want to do is crew, copter, and double block with copter and beast. That way, with just energy, you can't kill both, so it'll be a 1-for-1 trade. I will get to loot.
The looter scooter, gotta love it.
And I should, between looting on blocking and looting when I attack, I should be able to find something else to turn on ferocious if I need that. So, yeah, I'll crew the copter. I'll double block. I will trigger to loot.
Loot on the stack here.
I guess, how are you ordering blockers?
Oh, okay. I will order... That's a good question. That's a good question. We're going to order the Love Struck Beast first.
Okay.
Before blocks, we're going... Or before you loot?
Yeah, loot on the stack.
Okay. I think we can pump this because it would live 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we'll go for the pump. The pump's just a higher upside.
So that would make, you can get it to 7/7, so that would make it 11/9. Yeah,
Yep.
and it would just eat both my things. So yeah, that is not something we can allow.
That's what I figured you had to have.
Okay, loot here.
Yep.
Yeah, discard this land.
And I stack Love Struck Beast first, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we got to pump once.
I'll
And then
trade.
trade, and then pass to you. Not a great exchange here, but I didn't have too much I could have really done. Yeah, we're in a lot of trouble against these smugglers copters. I just have to try to close the game out, even though some of these attacks are just a little bit awkward.
So you're not great draws, but I'm trying to... So that would be a... that would be 5.
It's a close game.
Yeah, very close. I think I just
I'll
want
block.
to crew one of them, and I'm gonna crew with a mana creature, I guess, because those are better. Well, I guess so. What happens if the card I really want to draw is Galta?
Yeah, it's tough to for me to get through that card.
Yeah,
Tough for me to get through that.
Yeah, I think I just want to crew 1.
Okay.
And just get in for 3.
Okay.
I'll loot. Discard Once Upon a Time.
Okay, I'll go to 5. 5 to 11.
I will play a Gilded Goose, get a food.
Okay.
There we go. And I'm going to play an Oko. And I have some interesting decision to make with the Oko. So cards I'm worried about here are Temur Battle Rage and Become Immense.
I have both of them in hand.
Yeah. Now, even if you find like an Aether Hub to get some amount of energy, you have nothing that makes 4 energy. So the most you're going to be able to pump this thing is plus 3/3 to a 4/4, and that doesn't kill me with either Battle Rage or Become Immense. I'm at 11.
I love that deck just gets to play so many ways to have turn 2 Oko as well as just have a good beatdown plan. Seems pretty sweet.
Now, if you have Become Immense, this can get to an 11, but I can block that with Goose. I can block Copter here. So maybe I should just make a 3/3 myself with this food and have another blocker. I think I like that more than anything else. Yeah, so let's Elk the food. So Gilded Goose is actually a pretty nice draw. And then pass the turn.
Yeah, it really was. So we need a good draw. I don't think that's going to do it. Don't think that's going to do it. All right, we'll attack you.
So if I crew the Copter and end up losing everything in combat, all 3 of these, even if you have a blocker, I can crew, make something else a 3/3. Then I'm 1 short still. I would need to draw a creature to kill you against a blocker, but you would need to, I don't know how I could, need to use a pump spell and have a creature and then have me not draw a blocker, which seems really unlikely. What do I gain by blocking with everything? This is tough. I don't know your list exactly either, but I'm just going to play conservatively and go that is my blocks.
Okay. You want to loot it all? Nailed it.
It's a creature that would have crewed.
Yeah.
So beats pump spell blocker.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with put a counter on this.
Yeah. I assume the Elk's being ordered first.
Yeah. Yep. We'll kill the L, or I'm gonna. Become Immense the Pummeler.
Yeah, you drew pump spell and
and then kill the Elk and then pass it to you.
Oh, so we have Harness Lightning. Is that what's going on? That's the card that I have to be wary of. So this is 5/6. Well, I might have. I wish I hadn't looted.
Yeah.
So now Harness Lightning will just trade with a Copter. The other option I have is to like turn Shaheen into a 3/3 and attack with all of these. Then you would just Harness Lightning an Elf to stay alive, and I'd have nothing back, and I would just be. You would have 4 energy. You could make that's +1 basically. It gets you to 7. So any 4-point pump spell or Become Immense or Battle Rage would kill me. But I think I have to make you have the Harness Lightning here. But I think against Become Immense specifically, it's better to have a blocker back. So I'm going to crew the Copter. I will plus on the Shaheen to make it an Oak and go to attacks.
Sure.
Well, you definitely have nothing if you let me attack.
Yeah.
No way you would let me loot.
No, I had to Become Immense. I really just needed anything to push through damage. That would have done it with Become Immense there. It was brutal because I pretty much had the combo wrapped up when I had the collision and become immense when I was attacking, but I knew you had Stubborn Denial. I mean, you'd been playing like you had it. You've been tapping, Llanowars instead of your Botanical Sanctums for, many turns. So there's just not much I can do. I had to get I had to get the Stubborn Denial out of there and hope to draw something else to push through. But yeah, it was a tough spot because taking 2 to play Pummeler didn't feel good, but I really needed to set myself into a position where I could have won that game. And I think if I just don't play a bunch of pump spells there, I don't win. So yeah, that was a tough spot.
So the one Stubborn Denial, 1 piece of disruption.
Yep.
A removal spell on your part would have been really good.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. We don't have a ton of disruption. We're kind of just big creatures bashing back and forth here.
But we still played a very interesting game.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Got to try to figure out what pump spells you have, what I can play around, how to attack and block in a way that I'm racing effectively. So even in a matchup without a lot of direct interaction where you're trading card for card.
Yeah.
Combat gets so complicated here.
Yeah, combat's great here. So we're going to play one more game 1, and then we're going to sideboard. But Rob, do you got any questions while we're getting ready?
Yeah. What do you think about Gore Clan Rampage instead of Collision Colossus? Or do you just like the split card?
That's an interesting one.
That's definitely interesting. I do like the split between a threat and a pump spell more
a threat
than
that already has trample.
Yeah. No, that seems pretty interesting. Just because the kill of Flyer isn't insanely relevant so far. I mean, maybe there's a deck that's going to pop up where that half is going to be better, and then Collision Colossus would be better. But yeah, I mean, Rampager seems like a nice one.
Doesn't get Stubborn Denial.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Touche.
I think Rampager is great.
Yeah, Rampager sounds better.
Kind of off that, somebody else was asking, do you think that once upon a time we played a little deck, especially if you move to the Gore Clan Rampager?
If you go to the Gore Clan Rampager plan, it gets definitely better. But otherwise, once upon a time, this is a deck where you can't really afford to tap out to play something that doesn't get you pump spells. But if it were to get you pump spells as well as creatures, that's definitely more enticing. So,
a lot more enticing. Though a thing that gives me pause with this deck and Once Upon a Time is that you don't have any really powerful 1-drop. So you're not, Once Upon a Time makes your opening hand so much better. Yeah. And this is a deck that, in turn 1, you're not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm like a tuning, or I'm setting up. That's usually not ideal. So, all right, so we're going to start game 2 here. I'm going to be on the play. We'll see if we can do a little better. Okay. Sand gives a good old beat downs here. We're going to keep. Good old ting-tongs, as we like to say in the biz. We say that, right?
All the time.
Okay, perfect.
I kind of like this hand. I'm going to try it. It's close. It could get broken up.
Okay. I'm going to attune for a mountain, get some energy, and pass to you, my friend.
Okay. I will start on Sanctum Elvish Mystic.
Okay. Always has it.
First 2 cards of the hand.
Always has it. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to untap. I'm guessing you're done?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're just going to get the cub down first and pass to you.
It's a neat one. I will play Yavimaya Coast into Copter plus second Llanowar Elves.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right. Now we're going to hope this cub just gets absolutely crazy here. We're going to go with a Brawler. And that guarantees that the cub will live through combat here. Now, okay, so then we'll just attack. Let's give you the beatdowns. Let's go with 2 on here, get 2 energy.
I'm at 16.
All right. God, I haven't been able to do that in a long time. And then I'll land and pass through.
Man, the sand might be a little slow. Let's crew the Copter, attack and loot.
I will be going to 17 after you loot.
Ooh.
I love that heavy Ross sigh. Nothing better.
Okay.
Which elf do you think looks more intimidating?
Llanowar Elves.
Yeah, of course. He's wielding double blades here.
Yeah, what's your favorite Llanowar Elf art?
I remember the original one looks really, really nice.
I also like the 7th edition.
Or wasn't there an Onslaught one too, right?
No, Llanowar Elves.
Or no, I'm thinking the one where you tap 2 elves from Onslaught. So like tap 2 elves, add a green.
Oh,
it was like,
Birchlow Rangers.
yeah. I love the
Adds a
art
mana
on
of any
that.
color.
Yeah, I love the art on that one. Okay, so you're just saying go with 2 mana open?
Yep.
So you got to be trying to tell me a story, right? Once upon a time. Okay, so now we got options here. More than likely going to be a play a threat turn here to, further a little advantage here. But which one's more important here? I'm leaning towards this. This seems a lot better to me than this. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so we're going to go with a Brawler.
Yep.
4 energy. And we're going to go with a Brawler. 6 energy. We're brawling. Okay, and we're going to go down to 5 and give this trample. We be brawling. They hating. Brawler was a really underrated card because it just got shadowed by Long Tusk Cub, you know? But it's still a 2 mana 4/3 trampler.
Was really hoping to use this card before this turn, and now I don't think I have any good plays.
All right.
So my plan was to get this down next turn, which I had exactly enough mana to do.
Galta?
But that is not going to be good enough. So we have to just chump block this Long Tusk Cub and take 4.
All right, put you to 12. Pass to you.
And hope to draw something. That is not bad.
Uh-oh. 4 mana, the 5/4.
Yeah, Sirach the Hunt Caller.
Okay.
And now I will pass the turn.
Okay.
Got to play some defense here.
It's not a Galta, so that's cool. Guess you'd have to crew with the Soraka. Probably wouldn't be the best. Okay, so we're gonna start with a Bristling Hydra.
Yep.
Energy. All right, declare attacks.
Yep.
Let's bring them all. Use 3 energy. Pump them all.
So I'll crew the copter.
Okay.
And we got to block 2 of them, so we'll block the ones we can trade with.
Okay.
Loot.
Might hold you up on this. Let me think a little bit. So right now on surface value, you're taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, 11. So right now you're taking 11. Yeah, before that, we're going to go for the win. Okay.
Got the stub.
Okay.
But are we pumping into the cub?
I'm not sure yet. You do your loot first.
Okay. We're losing a bunch of creatures, so this Galta is going to have to go away.
Okay, so these are going to trade 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for sure. We could make it 10. I don't see any reason not to. So yeah, we're going to pump twice.
Okay.
Put you to 2.
1, right? Because this tramples over for 1.
Oh, yep. Put you to 1.
And
Okay.
Trade.
And then get 2 more energy. And then pass to you.
Ugh. Don't think I have a way to get out of this, but we'll keep forging on.
Okay. QB.
Pass the turn.
All right.
Unfortunately, the beast has to block the take Brawler, which will trample over.
All right. We're going to bring him in. We're going to pump here.
Yep. Block here, chump there.
That might be good.
That'll do. That'll do, pig. And Galta is very good in this matchup because you're not removing my creatures very often.
Yeah.
And it's a really good blocker because it's just so giant. And I had I was gonna draw with a loot with a little bit. I had like a counter spell for a pump spell.
Yeah.
But you had just such a creature heavy draw that turn for Galta just wasn't enough. You went wide on.
Yeah. Which is kind of wild.
Yeah.
You know?
Normally you're a go tall decks, which is one of the reasons Galta is good. But just against that draw, it lined up really poorly. I just got beat down.
Let's hope we have some active treasons for these Galtas in the sideboard. So we're going to confer to our sideboard here, get that ready for you. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back for our third and final game with Pummeler versus Simic Beatdown. See you in a sec.
And welcome back here to sideboarding between Simic Stompy and Gruul Pummeler. On my side, I am bringing in a couple copies of Sleep, which I think is excellent in the matchup. Just a way to break open these difficult combats, know that I'm not going to face any pressure from Corey the following turn, and get a big attack in. I think this card is just going to be lights out.
Yeah, I don't like that card. I do love Sleep.
Yeah,
but I do not like that card against me. So,
and then I'm bringing in my single copy of Sorcerer's Spyglass. I think shutting down Long Tusk Cub, Electrostatic Pummeler, and even Bristling Hydra goes a long way towards making combat a lot easier on my side. Just have to worry about the pump spells, and so even though it's a full card, I think it's worth it in this matchup.
Interesting.
I am cutting 3 of my Okos. This is a matchup where you really need to remove the bodies from the battlefield. You know, just leaving around a 3/3 elk with all the pump spells in your deck does very little to stop the threat of what's going on.
Yeah. Plus, the card is banned now, so we can't play it. Yeah. Banned in Brawl.
And then a lot of your creatures got +1/+1 counters, so they're going to be even bigger than a 3/3. You could argue that the +1 is going to be similar to Spyglass, but Spyglass is significantly cheaper.
Mm-hmm. And you can't target a Hydra with it, stuff like that.
So. I just don't think Oko is particularly effective in the matchup, so we're cutting those.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if Spyglass is actually good or if it's just seems good in theory. I'm really not sure. So
yeah.
All right. So from my end, we're just bringing in shocks. Ways to deal with your turn 1 creatures to kind of do the same. Essentially do what your Sleep is trying to do to just slow you down to the point where I can do my things a little bit more effectively. Try to see how that goes here. We're taking out Maximize Velocity. Definitely not the match for it. I need to outmuscle you. I don't need to outpace you. So I'm going to take that out. And then I just wanted to take out a pump spell. It's pretty tough to take out one of my 16 creatures because you really need that core of the deck. Yeah. And I think Blossoming Defense, when you're not trying to interact with me very well, is not great.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take these out, put some Wild Slashes in our deck. And we got any questions there while we're shuffling?
Yeah. So Junglebot wanted to know, with the 2 of the bands hitting one particular deck, how do you think Green or Green X Devotion is going to perform in the format, or what would it look like in the format?
I think a lot of that actually depends on what the rest of the format looks like. We saw people move more towards Todd Anderson's list with Mono Green with 4 main deck Walking Ballista and Voracious Hydra, as opposed to the Simic lists with Hydroid Crisis. And I think that was in large part motivated by the fact that the green deck was so powerful that there was no real need to play Crisis to get through interaction.
Yeah.
You just wanted to end the game because you had such a huge advantage on turns 2 and 3.
Yeah, Voracious Hydra seemed awesome every time I was watching Todd play that PTQ.
Now, with Walking Ballista taking a pretty big hit, part of the reason that card was really popular is because it's an onboard answer to the Sealy combo.
Yeah. Still a great card, though.
And the bans themselves, I think, are going to open up people to play more interaction.
Yeah.
So I think the Simic version gets better. You could still play Voracious Hydra, obviously, in that deck. But I think Hydroid Crisis, improves pretty significantly. So I think we'll see a little bit of a move back towards that, because we're also going to see
Oko coming back to the deck. Since you're losing your kind of explosiveness, you could just kind of slow down, still have mana creatures to play turn 2 Oko and stuff, and.
Yeah. So you're going to see them slow down and have to have some less aggressive elements to the deck, and maybe a little bit more interaction. You can have like Cyclonic Rift on the splash. That might be more of a sideboard card, but that's the kind of thing it has to do. It has to slow down. And it has to be more prepared for regular interaction.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that Crisis shines against.
Still maintaining the power. And I mean, you still get Nissa, and that's like, low key the best card. Some of these cards like Oath and Leyline got banned because they're too powerful, but Nissa is still one of the best card, if not your best card in these Devotion decks. If you ever get to untap Nykthos with it, or go crazy and see some of the Hydroid Crisis that you did to me on week 1 of Pioneer, like that was disgusting.
No, it's very good.
Yeah,
and, that's the kind of thing I think we're going to see more control decks and mid-range decks with more removal. Maybe the Teferi sort of mid-range decks still push those decks kind of out of the metagame, but we haven't seen that yet. At least in the immediate future, we'll see more of that kind of thing going on.
Yeah,
and that means that the Simic version, I think, gets a lot better.
And we're going to be seeing, just quite a tournament for the Invitational, with Pioneer being like the first rebirth to the tournament. Who knows? We might get more bands next week too, just to keep us all on our toes. That would be wild. Just after a Mythic Championships that's standard and limited, we're like, all right, we got some more Pioneer cards here. We went to Applebee's. All right, so you're going first, I assume?
Indeed, I am.
All right.
This is not a keepable hand.
All right. This hand's really close to just being absolutely insane. We need a little bit of help, but this isn't something I can really ship back. So we're going to keep it. It does need a little bit of help here, though.
So, Ross, small non-magic question. Feek17 said, given your mention of the Pizza Belt on your podcast, what would you say is the best pizza spot in Connecticut?
So the town in Connecticut that's known for pizza is New Haven. And there are several of them that New Havenites, pledge their loyalty to. The original is Frank Pepe's. They're noted for their white clam pizza. That's a New Haven specialty.
Similar to Rob's favorite pizza, the White Claw pizza. Yeah,
can't get enough of it.
I've been to Frank Pepe's. It's very good. I like Modern, which is another one in New Haven. I think that one's excellent. And then the one I haven't been to is Sally's, which is I think somebody who was related to Frank Pepe made their own pizzeria in like the 30s.
Sally Pepe. Okay.
And then there's another one whose name is escaping me. I think it's called Bar. But those are the four really well-known
Pepe
ones.
Hands, the emote on Twitch?
No.
Oh, okay.
And but of those four, I'm a fan of Modern. But you can't go wrong with any of them.
You know where my favorite pizza place is, surprisingly? And it's just a chain, but I love it so much. Have you ever had Blaze Pizza?
Oh, the LeBron chain. Yeah, it actually is.
It's
solid.
Really good. Yeah, just like thinner style pizza. They don't put a ton of sauce like below, and like just you kind of put sauce on top of it and stuff. I just like thin pizza, so that really.
The New Haven style pizza is sort of a slight twist on the Neapolitan. So it's thin, but they like really hot oven, often coal fired.
Okay.
And they char the bottom of the crust.
Okay.
Because it's so hot, and the way they make the dough, it has a little bit more chew to it. It's so good.
Excellent.
New Haven has the best pizza. Everybody talks about like New York and Chicago. It's actually secretly New Haven, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just not that big a fan of a deep dish.
It's not good.
I don't like it. It's just too much.
It's just not good.
I ate like 2 slices and I just feel like I want to die. Get so full. Get so full so fast.
Oh yeah, how bad I'm eating food and I get full, right?
Yeah, all right, whatever, Rob.
Okay, second hand here. This is a reasonable one. It's not a great hand, but it's a definite keep. We have an extra land here we can throw away.
Bring it.
And I will start on a Gilded Goose.
Every time.
A Gilded Goose. All right, all the way back
done?
here. Yeah. I don't want more hog.
Not the draw we wanted there. But we'll just play a land and we'll say go.
It's definitely pie time.
Pie time.
Not the best, but I will play a Steel Leaf Champion.
Okay, that's a strong one.
Pass the turn.
That was a pretty unfortunate draw as well, so we're just going to play a cub and say go. The beatdowns will begin.
Okay, let's attack for 5.
All right, 15.
And can't play both of these, unfortunately, because I drew a goose instead of any other mana creature.
Love that.
Kind of want to contain that cub. So I'm actually going to play the Spyglass. Take a look at your hand.
All right. We need land.
Huh.
To contain the cub or the Hydra?
I'm definitely going to name Long Tusk Cub.
Okay.
So I guess you can go. Tap land.
Okay.
I'm concerned about this harness lightning. I'm thinking about whether or not I want to chump the cub.
Yeah.
To get another hit in.
Yeah, because it doesn't stop the energy.
Because this goose is like basically not going to do anything.
Yeah.
I might make a food next turn. There's a chance of that. but I think I would rather get 5 damage in than the food.
Hello. Check, please. Pass to you. Was Aether Hub good? Oh, copters. Love it. Love it.
Crew a copter with a copter, is that a thing?
Not unless it's already crewed.
All right. Now, do I actually want to just try to get in some damage here? No, I think we'll leave this open. So unfortunately, we don't have anything we're doing here, but we'll get some energy.
I'm at 18.
And pass to you.
Also, I've ruined the chat with the pizza comments, so
have you?
It's downhill.
I'm gonna loot this away, so pass the turn.
All right. Yeah, we got nothing. Okay, and this is shut off anyway, so we'll just attack.
16.
Energy. Hydra. Your turn.
Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me.
Not like this.
You know what would have been pretty nice? If that was an Oko. We were unsure about it, if it would have been good, and it did not look good here. All right, so we will attack.
10.
Well, hang on a sec. I mean, this is just lethal. This is just lethal. So we will go, right? So 4, 5, 6, 6, 10. This is just 20 right here. All right, so we're gonna start by going green, red, collision. And then use an energy, Teamer Battle Rage. Pump twice. Take 22. Yeah, your draw did not agree with you on that game, that's for sure.
I mean, I kept, I think it was these 3 and 3 lands. And then,
yeah, I mean, that's a keeper.
Yeah.
That's a keeper.
And I put a land on bottom and then drew 3 lands.
Spyglass,
second copter Spyglass. Yeah. Definitely would have been better as an Oko.
It definitely would have been. I think the game would have definitely been real if that was an Oko. I mean, you're just turning food in and then you're crewing.
The fact that you hit land, I think you would have just done like.
Well, I think the Aether Hub was probably the biggest draw there.
Yeah.
That was pretty lucky. That was quite lucky. Okay, well, let's take a question here before we go to our next match.
All right. I got one here from Flash Liger.
Okay.
They asked, how do you handle format turmoil before a major tournament, like with this Envy coming up, once we switched it from Standard to Pioneer? And Pioneer's a little unpredictable right now, but how do you deal with that?
Well, me personally, I take cold showers and I just rock back and forth and I cry until somebody sends me a deck. But I know that might be different than your preparation, or
Pioneer's a bit of an interesting case, specifically now because the format's already new and we're just seeing, these emergent powerful strategies. I also sort of anticipated the bans. I tested with some different decks this weekend just in case, and I've already found one that I like. I wrote my article about it today. That's Is It in Soul. Played that deck last Thursday on the Halloween show, so you can watch that match.
It was good. You demolished me.
Demolished the Simic Nexus deck.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's a deck that I already like. It could get worse if people do move to these, heavy removal strategies. Then Abrupt Decay is a bit of a problem. So that's something to watch out for with that deck. But so I sort of anticipated the bans and was already looking towards other things. So you just sort of treat it like a new format where you explore and hopefully you find something you like. In general, format turmoil doesn't happen a whole lot, but there's not
tell that to 2019.
There's not something like super specific you do to deal with it. Yeah. You just kind of move on. I played as at Phoenix for 8 months, and then Faithless Looting got banned, and you have to move on.
Still haven't, but
how you do that, I think a lot of it depends on where the metagame goes. So I think a lot of people are a little bit myopic in the way they evaluate a post-ban format. So, Is It Phoenix gets banned, and, people just sort of move on to, what the next best deck is.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things you have to really look at is what are the decks that were being suppressed by the deck that was being banned? What were its, biggest prey? And then try to figure out if those decks were, get significantly better. because their biggest predator is gone.
Yeah.
So there's this sort of interesting dialectic within the Magic metagame where everything is in relation to each other. And so the dynamics that are at play are multifaceted, and you've got to look at secondary and tertiary effects in addition to just this card got banned, so these 3 decks that use that card get a lot worse, and now the decks that were already good that didn't use that card get better. Well, what decks can we now play that were being suppressed by Green Devotion and by Cat Combo?
Yeah.
And I think it's decks that were a little bit slower that they just kind of buried, or decks that whose removal didn't line up well against those. So you don't have to be as worried maybe about killing mana creatures. They're still around, so you should still try to kill them, but maybe not as worried as you were before. So you can move a little bit away from Wild Slash, more towards some other things. Maybe you can play more aggressive decks that play to the battlefield. Like Walking Ballista and Voracious Hydra just ate up people just trying to play fair creatures and attack. So maybe those kinds of strategies get a lot better now. Something like a Jeskai Vehicles deck, that was something we tested out early, looked kind of strong. You're curving Toolcraft Exemplar and Thraben Inspector into Smuggler's Copter and into Heart of Kirin, plus these good Planeswalkers, Teferi and the Royal Scions, things like that. Aspiring Spike was streaming with a similar deck earlier this week. So that's the kind of you kind of look at it a little bit deeper. So what are the decks that are going to rise as a result? What are the decks that are going to fall as a result of those decks rising? And we eventually reach a sort of steady state when you account for everything, and you're not going to see everything. So don't think that you're going to have a perfect example in the metagame. So make sure you stay powerful, you stay proactive in the meantime while everything sorts itself out. But if you're going to really try to get a good hard look at where things are going, you got to be looking three steps ahead and look at multiple variables.
And one thing adding to that is you really need to be looking at all the resources you're given. So this time where I'm in this position, but a lot of people are in this position. Like Pioneer's coming next week. I have a Mythic Championship that I'm playing now, so next week is when I get to really focus on it. But one of my best friends is checking MTG Goldfish. And seeing the trends. Like you see the deck dumps that come from Pioneer lists. You look what is doing well. You start to see, in the big picture, the percentages of decks that are being played. Now, of course, this is going to be skewed because they will have percentages from pre-ban there. They don't just, delete all information and then restart it. It's just, it's too hard to do for their company side. But then you look at these PTQ lists, you look at these Pioneer challenge lists, and read articles that are going on, look at the trends and just kind of be able to look back and see, okay, what are going to be the pillars, the 3 best decks of the format, and what deck can I play that even has a good matchup against 2 out of the 3? Put yourself in a numbers game here. Like, it's going to be so impossible to get it perfectly right for this tournament, but give yourself a deck that just doesn't lose to 2 of the decks that you really think are going to be good. That is not what you want to do. You want to put yourself in a position where you have a favorable matchup against the decks that are really starting to rise to the top, even in the initial weekend, because we're going to have 1 weekend of results and then boom, invitational time. So take these results to, don't say, this deck just did good in this one Pioneer challenge, this did good in one PTQ, because a lot of people are going to be looking at that. These things are going to be replicated. People are not going to know exactly what to play in such a short amount of time, especially getting ready for 2 tournaments, and especially most of these players, or some of these players are going to the Mythic Championship as well, so they're going to look at results and take those decks because, what other time do you have? So see if you can really try to metagame against this weekend's lists. It feels really weird to just metagame during a specific week, but it's going to be a big influence this week with the first post-bans.
Yeah, and you can take the high-risk play and try to find sort of the next broken deck. Yeah. But in reality, if somebody does find it, it'll probably be a small portion of the field, and they'll get rewarded. But the easier way to make sure you have a good deck is just figure out what people are playing right now. Even if those decks aren't good 3 weeks from now, as long as you beat them on the weekend people are playing them, that's fine. To have it's always important. You're not looking for the overall best deck in Pioneer. You're looking for the best deck for November 14th through the 16th at the Invitational or whatever tournament you're playing on those dates.
And maybe the best deck for yourself too. If there's 2 decks that you think that you're interested in playing, and one you play extremely, extremely well, and the other one you haven't played a lot, Maybe that should influence your decision quite immensely.
No, that's a good point. I think in Pioneer specifically, there's pretty good examples across a wide range of archetypes. If you want to play control deck, there's a few options for control. Aggro decks, a few options there. Mid range, a few options there. And then there's a couple of sort of wacky combo decks. So if any of those boxes really speaks to you, then work within that realm, work within what you're comfortable with, because we have a limited amount of time, and make sure you have the best, or at least close to the best list of that kind of deck as you can get.
But yeah, we talked long about this subject because it's complicated. This is not an easy thing to do. Even when Golos got banned moving into this next Pro Tour, we're all just like, okay, we got work to do, this is it's a lot to get ready for in such a short amount of time. So it's not going to be easy, but play something that's powerful and really take in the information to summarize this up. But that is going to be it for round 1 here. We got, I got Abzan Aggro coming for you next round. What do you got?
I'm going to be playing mono green ramp. This is not a devotion strategy. There's no elves. We're ramping out lands.
I was just going to say, Oath and Leyline got banned, right, buddy?
Yeah, no, this is a different take on the ramp deck, and it's a cool one.
Okay, this is going to be a really sweet round 2. I got round 1, so we'll be right back with round 2 with those sweet decks. See you there.